All right, take a look at this. It's the new FBI wanted ad running on Seattle buses. It shows 16 images of the FBI's most wanted global terrorists. See anything wrong with it? Well, one Democratic lawmaker does. Congressman Jim McDermott says the ad is racist against Muslims, and he's demanding the FBI takes it down. To Monica Crowley, who says this PC push is killing us, and Mark Hanna, who agrees with the congressman. Mark, I'm going to start with you. So we put pictures up of wanted terrorists, and that's racist?
No, Eric, let me just clarify, and I was speaking to your producers earlier. I agree that the FBI should have everything in its power to help them capture terrorists, including this bus ad. Now, I agree with what I said before to the producer, is I agree with the congressman's sentiment here. I know that Monica is going to come on and say this is an example of political correctness run amok, but I do think it's also an example of moral correctness on some level when we need to understand that we have 3.5 million Arab Americans living in this country who are mostly law-abiding, God-fearing, freedom-loving, and we need to make sure. Senator Cruz was just on saying we need to welcome legal immigrants. We need to celebrate legal immigrants.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is there anyone in the world or anyone that disagrees with you? I think we all are in agreement that we need to welcome everybody and be fair and balanced and not racially charged when we do that. However, these guys are criminals. They're terrorists. They're known terrorists.
Right.
So hold on there, Monica. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say to Mark, when he says that this is a country that welcomes law-abiding citizens and there are plenty of Muslims who are not killing people or engaging in terrorism, they're not the ones on the side of the bus. The ones on the side of the bus are known terrorists, and when this Congressman McDermott says that it's offensive to Muslim sensibilities to put these terrorists on the side of the bus, you know what's offensive, Eric? What's offensive is Muslim terrorists killing thousands of us on 9/11, so many other terrorist attacks. You know what's offensive? Jim McDermott going on and saying that somehow we should restrict the ability of intelligence agencies and law enforcement to go and apprehend these people by making their faces known. That's what's offensive.
Go ahead, Mark. I mean, how can you defend this guy? How can you defend this congressman who says we have to be careful not to offend Muslims by putting 16 known terrorists on the side of a bus?
Sure. What he asked them to do was to reconsider this. Now, look, if the FBI has intelligence that this kind of advertising campaign...
They're the most wanted. There are three white guys in there.
I'm telling you right now, I will defend to the end the FBI's ability to effectively capture terrorists, and if they think that putting a bus advertisement that says, help us capture one of these guys and we'll give you $25 million, if that apparently is effective, then I think the FBI should absolutely go ahead with that. What the congressman is doing is asking them to reconsider the effectiveness of this. Look, I was in the Middle East a couple of years ago for work, Eric, and, as a white guy in a place surrounded by people who maybe, I don't look like them, if I were on a crowded bus and I saw a picture of, 16 or 15, guys that look like me saying, we need to capture people that look like this.
Criminals?
We do need on some...
Criminals?
They're criminals,
That's what this
absolutely.
is about.
Look,
it didn't say, no, Mark. It didn't
I'm agreeing with you, Eric. I'm agreeing we live in a new age.
Stop. It didn't say we need to capture guys that look like this. It says we need to capture these guys, and therein lies the difference. Monica.
Right. Well, look,
right. And there are always unintended consequences.
If there were a bunch of Buddhists or Hindus or Roman Catholics carrying out grotesque acts of international terror, I would expect to see their faces on the side of the bus. But no, we have Islamic terrorism.
McVeigh, what about Ted Kaczynski?
Taking out Americans and so many others, including some of their fellow Muslims, across the globe. So this kind of engagement in political correctness is actually hampering our ability to carry out this war and actually win it. The other thing, too, is
Monica, the faces of terrorism, what about Ted Kaczynski?
When this congressman talks about how it violates somehow Muslim sensitivities here, why is the burden on the United States and on us always to extend ourselves in sensitivity to them? The burden should be on the Muslim world because they
we're an enlightened culture. We're more
to show some sensitivity to us.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, look, I think we as Americans always take the high road. We as Americans have a certain level of sensitivity that comes from a historical legacy of inclusiveness that other countries don't necessarily have. That's my answer to that.
Well, no,
but look, this is the global faces of terror.
My point is that the Muslim world should be showing sensitivity to us because members of their community keep killing us.
And what's the best way to do that? Is it to, is it to try to alienate people by by saying, like, we're going to capture and kill you for these $25 million on the side of a bus, or is it to breed a culture of, look, there have been hate crimes against Arab Americans and Muslim Americans has increased.
We have to go. Again, it doesn't say...
I agree the solution should be public education.
Capture someone who looks like these guys. It says these specific guys, and that is an
There are
important
unintended consequences.
We got to go, Mark. I'm going to leave it there. Mark and Monica, thank you guys very much. Great debate. All right, think you're fed up with those airline fees now?